Okay, here we're given a position function and we're asked something about the velocity. In particular, we're asked about the velocity at time zero. That's what initial velocity means. So recall, velocity as a function of time is the derivative of position. And acceleration would be the derivative of velocity, but we're not asked about that. Okay, this is a quotient. I have to use quotient rule here. So I'm going to do, let's write this out. Remember, if we have f over g, we have some fraction and we want the derivative. Derivative of the top times the bottom minus derivative of the bottom, leave the top alone, all over the bottom squared. Okay, so what do we get? Derivative of the top. Derivative of t is just 1. Times leave the bottom alone. Minus the derivative of the bottom. The derivative of t squared would be 2t. The derivative of plus 1 is just 0 times the top. So there's bottom derivative times the top left alone all over the bottom squared. And I'm going to go ahead and clean this one up because I'm going to have to plug a value in a minute. So I get t squared plus 1 minus 2t squared all over this. So that'll be what I think we get negative t squared plus 1 over t squared plus 1 squared. Nothing will cancel here. Generally speaking, when it comes to denominators, always leave denominators factored, particularly when they're like this. Don't bother multiplying that out. It's not going to do you any good. And if we had to do more work with this, our next step would probably be factor everything and see if anything cancels. Always leave denominators factored. That's a good rule of thumb. Okay, so here's my velocity function. I want the initial velocity, so I want v at 0. So that would be negative 0 plus 1 over 0 plus 1 squared. 0 squared, of course, being 0. So I think we get negative 1 over 1. I think we get negative 1. They don't give us units here. So let's assume this guy was in meters and t was in seconds. I'm just going to make an assumption here. Then this would be meters per second. So that means my initial velocity at time 0 was my object was moving backwards at 1 meter per second. That's a good place to stop.